Welcome back to WWE 2K25 Showcase
Thanks for
Mode.
making the time to come in today.
I know I'm not even a part of WWE anymore, so I appreciate you bringing me in. Although, if I'm being honest, I hope to hear from you sooner, especially since I've been reaching out ever since Survivor Series.
To say things have been complicated would be an understatement. I'm sure you've been following on social media.
It's hard to avert your eyes from a dumpster fire.
Good. And you know Mutiny's taken over Raw and SmackDown and put their people in charge of everything.
Ah, there it is.
What?
You've lost control. You called an uprising best for business because you thought you could control them, and now they're in charge. Becky Lynch, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, they were all convinced you were secretly running Mutiny. I know it turns out you weren't, but you could not have done a better job helping them if you were.
Listen, this isn't about me. This is about the future of this company. Mutiny has put everything at risk. We're supposed to be on the road to WrestleMania, and they've decided to cancel the Royal Rumble. Why bother when CM Punk has probably already decided he's main eventing? Mutiny is dismantling everything, and they're showing no signs of stopping.
I think you're forgetting that I don't go here anymore. As much as I want to stop Mutiny and get my revenge, unless you have a new WWE contract for me, seems like your mess to solve.
I can't give you a new WWE contract.
Then why am I here?
Mutiny has my hands tied. And as much as the board would love to see you teach Punk and your former partner a lesson, you'd need an army to take them on. With the kind of chokehold they have on the company right now, it would be damn near impossible for you to get anyone on the current roster to help you.
Great. So we're just here to talk about how you've given up?
Oh, I haven't given up. And I don't think you have either. Like I said, I don't think anyone on the current roster can help you.
Ah, there's the old cerebral assassin.
Yeah, he's still in there when I need him. But I can also be pretty bold. Just like you. I think you can use that to your advantage. It's your call who to recruit to your army.
Interesting. I know you said no one on the current roster can help, but...
Okay, so it looks like I can recruit legends, Indy Wrestlers, or the past My 2K players. Well, I think I'm gonna go with the Indy Wrestlers, yeah.
If Punk wants to spout nonsense about breaking down barriers, maybe it's time I meet him halfway and open some doors. Even the forbidden ones.
Good. Then I'll leave you to it.
So yeah, now we're back in WWE 2K25, continuing this MyRise mode, and now we're wrestling Geneva Rose, and see if I can invade the show to recruit some of her independent wrestlers to my cause of getting CM Punk and...
TBD! I know you expected to see Josie Jane versus Paragon J. Pierce tonight, but there's been a change of plans. This match is now a triple threat!
Getting them and the rest of them against CM Punk and his cronies, as well as the former tag partner, female, or the second custom character. I know I did repeat just some of that a minute ago, and it's because I messed up my initial take of this, in which I talked directly over Geneva when she was announcing it being a triple threat match. And it threw off the whole video because I had moved the dialogue over, and then certain bits I was talking about, it just didn't make any sense whatsoever. So, I decided to do the only rational thing, and it was grab the entire commentary for the match and re-record it from scratch because I like making myself miserable. No, but it's perfectly fine. It happens to the best of us. And if not me today, it's just going to be somebody else tomorrow. So, now on to the two creator wrestler carbon copies that they made for this match and for the storyline that have been around since ever. You have Paragon J. Pierce, who he's just a random creator wrestler guy that they made simply for the sake of the storyline. And he was originally from Japan. He wasn't from Japan. Foolish child. No, he was from MMA and made a name, left and then made a name for himself in Japan. Showed up in like one of the 2K games as sort of like a starter antagonist against your custom character, in which y'all were just competing for the contract, which your guy ended up winning because you're the main character of the story. Da-da-dun. So no, he's always been around, kind of ever since they introduced him as sort of just a generic independent wrestler that, yeah, he just exists. Same in a way with Josie Jones. He kind of exists just so your female character had someone to fight with, prior to doing this game where they restarted doing intergender matches. But now that's beside the point. Well, that's not really relevant, but no, our goal here is to try and recruit them to join our cause, so that way we can take back control, which they're aware of this, and you're aware of this, because this is like the second time I've said it, and I'm repeating information because I'm a dunce. Yeah, that word works. So no, TBD, the wrestling company that they created for this, is somewhat unique in the fact that it's a generic independent. Initially, when it came out, it was just meant to be a generic independent wrestling scene that your custom characters would fight during. And so that's where it all came from. And TBD, well, I don't know entirely if there's a specific company it's based off of. My initial thought was it was based off of the Los Angeles-based promotion Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Because in a previous installment of the game, there was a moment, like a tweet on the social feed that said, "Hey, blank just won the TBD, I want to think it was a battle for like Las Vegas or something." It was something like that, and I just looked at that and I said, that's just a rip-off of the Battle for Los Angeles. They pulled it in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, but didn't stop them from stealing the G1 tournament based off of Japan for one of the storylines a couple 2Ks ago. So yeah, they were known for taking this stuff. But the Battle for Los Angeles is typically a 16-person tournament. Winner of the match usually gets a title shot at the next PWG show. So kind of an excuse to do that. Plenty of independent companies have tournaments, and that'll just be the whole night. My brother and I one time went to a local pro wrestling show where they were crowning their first ever tag team champions. And of course, that was the whole card for the night, was just a tag team tournament with two very generic singles matches to just give the guys some rest in between matches, and so the audience could use the rest of them if they needed to, which was nice. We saw the whole tournament, the guys who won the belt, our predictions to win the match, and we ended up wearing our shirts that we had for the team, so it was a great show. So that's just kind of how a typical tournament show is going to work, is you'll have, but again, that was also a 6-man tournament, not a 16. Well, it was a 16 tournament, not a 16-man tournament, but all in all, not that relevant. So, of course, looking at this background, I guess a Vegas one does make sense, because it does look like what could take place in a lobby at a Vegas hotel room. Or it also kind of reminds me of the Hammerstein Ballroom a little bit, where when Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, would run shows in New York, that's kind of where they would run their shows out of. They would do tapings there, because they only toured the East if they weren't in Philadelphia. But their shows were always good. They did run shows out of the, it's now known as the 2300 Arena, but it was just simply known back then as the ECW Arena. And yeah, saw a bunch of their shows, through, like, either, just like the whole network on Peacock and such. And yeah, no, they were good shows, and actually their current match, they've got a match on NXT that's going to be on the 10th of February. Yeah, where they're basically doing, so one of the first ECW matches I saw was Sandman and who the heck was his tag partner at the time? It was Sandman and Mick Foley, I want to say, against the Public Enemy. Winner of the fall would face the ECW champion for the belt that night. And then this Tuesday, they're doing Sol Ruka and Zarya versus Ren Sinclair and I think it's Kendall Gray, where the winner of the fall is going to take on the NXT Women's Championship at her next title defense. So in a way, nice to see that thing is coming back, and plus it helps drive the stories of, are these friends really trustworthy? But that takes...
Thanks for letting me jump in that match, Geneva. Appreciate it.
The most talked about WWE superstar turned free agent, who hasn't shown their face in public since epically getting fired at Survivor Series, reaches out and asks to be on a TBD show? I can't imagine anything that would get more buzz.
Short of holding your partner's career hostage with a napkin contract?
Touché. So, do you think your plan to take down Mutiny will work?
There's only one way to find out. And if there's anything that will get under my former partner's skin, it's using a bunch of people she used to work with to take her and Punk down. Do you think the Indy Wrestlers will be game?
Like you said, there's only one way to find out. Good luck.
Why'd they reference the female character from the last game? Or what do they have to say?
Well, look who just showed up and put himself into a match.
Josie, Paragon, I didn't come to cause a stir. I came because I respect both of you, and because I need your help. Well, help from you and all of your indie friends in taking down Mutiny.
Listen, Josie and I both did our time at WWE. Great experience, but we moved on. I saw how your time at WWE ended. Not pretty. There's a whole world of wrestling out there. A lot of other rival promotions. I don't need to tell you that. You can find a place somewhere else. Like we did.
I'm aware. But, yeah.
You're not wrong, but this is personal. You saw what my former partner did to me after I brought her in, trusted her. If someone did that to either of you, you would just let it go? In this business, we rely on trust. We have to stick together. With your indie background, you both get that.
He makes a convincing argument, Paragon.
Yeah, he's great at flattery, too. But we already know Indy Wrestlers are the perfect group to save the future of the business.
So you'll help?
Maybe. But you said you needed more than us, right? It's a fine line with our crew. Respect is earned, not given. You can't just show up, Ask Geneva to put you in a match, and then expect everyone to fall in line behind you.
It's one thing to face us in a normal triple threat. You need to prove you're as tough as an indie wrestler.
Let's see if he can hang in a TBD rules match.
Name the time and the place.
Here, now.
You're kidding.
You're on.
Love the fire. Bring that to the ring. Who do you want to face?
We're taking on Paragon. I'm not doing Juicy Jane.
You're not the only Paragon in town, Pierce. Let's go.
So that's going to be what we're doing next time. Is taking on Paragon J. Pierce in a TBD rules match, which is essentially a death match. Enjoy!